Hey, what's going on, guys? Acting Relic here, doing the first of the Reflection casts. This one around the Mage's quest line. So, let's jump in right now. First off, quest line structure. I think the Mage's quest line in Skyrim is a lot better than the one in Oblivion, mainly because it's the one I've actually completed. I never really figured out how exactly you join the Mages Guild in Oblivion. Mainly because there was this weird component where you had to join all of them. You had to go to each individual location and complete a test there to prove that you could be part of the Mages Guild. It was something along those lines. Anyways, in this one, you just have the one college in Winterhold, and you just go there, and you have to go there because it's part of the main quest. You have to join. And I think that's actually a really good structure, that the main quest mixes in all these other elements, where you have to go to the mages to get information. You have to go to the Thieves Guild to get information. The only ones they don't touch on are the Dark Brotherhood and the Companions. And even with Companions, they kind of touch on it with like just subtle hints too. There's some stuff in the Companions. They don't really go into the Dark Brotherhood, but that actually makes a lot of sense, because not a lot of people want to touch that subject too much. Anyways, structure-wise, it's very much the classic magic storyline where you enroll at the magical college, you learn, your teacher goes and takes you on an expedition, and suddenly you're in the midst of something bigger and stranger than you could ever understand. You find the Eye of Magnus, this ultimate orb of power, and suddenly you're wrapped up into a thing, say, with mystical people saying humans are not ready for this, they don't understand it, and of course the Thalmor, wizard of the court, thinking that he can use it for greater power, takes it and tries to use it. We lose the archmage in the process, so on and so forth. Very good progression and good motivation to get power so that you can stop the bad guy, so that you can go through the steps to complete your final tasks. Alright, characters. I sadly forget all their names. Your initial teacher, I think he does a pretty good job as just generic, oh, what happened here? Oh, this is interesting kind of teacher, who eventually lends himself to being just an assistant to you when taking down the final boss. There's a couple other characters. I enjoy the orc in the library. I think he's a really amusing character because he's very gruff and uppity kind of character. The ones I don't like are I would say three. There are three I don't like. I don't like the Archmage. He is a very, design-wise, really cool character. I especially like his robe set, that once you get it, it's very Skyrim. The robes are very Skyrim. And I think it's actually well paired with whatever Daedric priest mess you have. Especially if you have the one that is Magicka focused. I don't like him because you can't get invested in him. You don't get a lot of information unless you go talk to him. A lot. And I did not. So he's already dead, so alright. He, like, Savars Aran is a cool name. I like that structure. And having him be this sort of kindly old night elf wizard is very good. What I don't like is how naive he is. How he could not foresee certain things coming. Especially, and relating to my second character I don't like, is that goddamn Thalmor wizard. We know, well, the Dragonborn at least, and several other people, know that the Thalmor are bad. Why is it so confusing to other people that they are? He is a high elf in black robes asking too many questions about power we do not understand. That is borderline comic villain. And he is. The very first time you meet him, you know he's the bad guy. There's no mysticism about it. There's no essence of disbelief as to, oh, he might be the bad guy, I don't know. He could be, I don't know. He's just there, and he's the bad guy, and you know it, and everybody knows it but the Archmage. He's the only other person who doesn't understand that the guy in black robes wanting to know more about the eye is the bad guy. Anyways, final character I don't not like him. I wish there was more of him. And it's the mystical wizard who comes and advises you not to mess with the Eye of Magnus, and eventually takes it away once you defeat the final boss. I like his character, I like how he's not very clear about things, but I also wish he was more clear. We could get more information. I want to know about his order. I want to know about these mystical wizards that teleport all around, appear as fog, and have the ability to transport the Eye of Magnus, this huge orb of power, out of the College of Winterhold by just zapping it away. I would like to know more about that. I would also like to have his robes. I have not tested the theory with it when he spawns in the Archmage's quarters, if you can kill him or not to take his robes, because I find his robes really well done. I remember seeing them in the art book even before I played this section of the game and thought those are some really well designed robes. I like the color palette of the red and white, they look very nice, but I don't believe there's a way to obtain them in the game. That is kind of lacking, and I'm a little annoyed by that. But those are my 3 character gripes. Are items that you earn. I would say items and titles, where the other guild positions, except for maybe the thieves, if you get it back up to full, this is the highest title that you get. You are Archmage. You are head of the college. And the progression afterwards is just going to the specialists of each of the guilds of magic and asking them for the locations of their most powerful spells. Once you get 100 destruction, you go on a very simple quest to unlock the level 100 destruction spells, the fire, the ice, and the lightning spell. And they are powerful weapons once you have them. But you have to earn them. And that is a very good progression, where it is, yes, you are the master of the entire college, but that does not mean you are the master of all the magics. You are good at all of them. Now you must go to the specialists and ask for their help. You also earn the Archmage's quarters, which is an incredibly opulent and nice location with multiple sets of good brewing stand, good enchanting table, your display cases, all these different chests. There are multiple, like, really safe locations, like obviously the safe and the chest in front of the bed. A lot of high value items to obtain from here. And then, of course, there's all the gifts you earn from this quest. I don't have it on me, but of course the Staff of Magnus, which is one of the most unique, magical staffs in the game. Very uniquely designed. Its power is kind of normal. It's just drain magicka, I believe. But you also earn really high value magicka items. Savas's amulet. You earn, of course, the Archmage robes. And regeneration. These things are incredibly powerful. Once you pair them with the correct gauntlets and boots, they give you good magicka bonus. That becomes your mage setup, and you can run amazing things. I've done it on my other character where I have a lot more power to access, and you can do spectacular things. That's about for all you earn, and as I said, the post quests after the Mages Guild are very good. And that's also another thing that the Mages Guild does well. Better than any other guild. They don't give you assignments. They say, you are here to learn. Oh, you are now involved in the main quest line. You will follow this until it is done. You go through a couple dungeons, but they are all well designed. The college, as a level design, switching to that now, is very good. Multiple tiered, multiple different locations, all pertaining to the different sects of magic. There's, of course, the underworkings where there is all these different special magical things like the gauntlet and the other things in there. This is also the quest line that you get to access, the Labyrintheum. That is the greatest designed dungeon out of all of them. You can say whatever you want, and you can say this one is better, this one is better. No. The Labyrintheum is one of the best designed dungeons I have ever played in any game ever. And I love doing it again, because they put you on the edge the very second you walk in. The very first area where there's enemies, you walk in, of course there's skeletons, but the very first thing that comes out at you is a skeletal dragon. They are not messing around at all. They are saying, we're going now, and we are going to go and not stop. You go through and you fight, and you have to use your magical abilities to demolish ice doors, demolish fire doors. I wish there had been one for something to do with lightning. That would have been a really good tie-in for everything else. If you sit around and wait and listen to the spectral beings of the past Mages Guild, including Savos, you get a lot of backstory as to the Staff of Magnus and why it's kept in here and what was going on. That's very good. The fight with the Dragon Priest Warrior is very well designed. It feels really good once you defeat him. Gratefully, I was a little over-leveled, so it wasn't that hard. The run up to him is very well designed with the different staircases and levels. There is one of my favorite set pieces that isn't that hard to progress through, but I think it's just really well designed, is the Wisp Graveyard, where you have the Wisp Mother at the end and all these graves in front of it, which could mean multiple things. Also, let's not forget, it is also the location that you get all those see-through weapons. I can't remember their name. I'll probably put it in the in a comment or something, but the one that's the sword, the axe, and the bow. They all absorb various things. They are very good for using into enchantment. I already used the one for health so that I can create a weapon later on that absorbs health. Excuse me. All in all, a very good quest line, good level design, good rewards, reasonably good characters, except for those couple blights. Honestly, it is probably my favorite quest line of Skyrim, and that's saying something because I play a weapon and sword, whatever melee focused character more than a mage. So to say that the mage's questline is one of my favorites is saying something. Once I get to it, I think I like. Well, you know what? I think blanket across all the plot points and how the story arc goes, I like the mage's questline the best. There are certain escalation points in Dark Brotherhood and Thieves that I like a lot more, just because I like the way they play out and how they're set up. They're a little better, but I would say all the elements combined, the Mages Guild is my favorite out of Skyrim. Anyways, I'll cut it off here. Thanks for watching. This will be coming out right after I finished uploading all the Mages stuff. Then I'm going into the Companions Guild, which I have already recorded, and I have the reflection ready for that because it's also a silent playthrough. And I'm probably going to treat Thieves and Dark Brotherhood the same. I will be finishing up the last of the Daedric quests, and then I'm going to consider a couple different options for what I'm going to do. Because there are, of course, Dawnguard and Dragonborn DLC that I can do, but I've got an idea of what I'd like to do instead of those. Anyways, see you guys next time.